While there is a high likelihood this video is going to be irrelevant very quickly, there are some terrible rumours flying around the rugby community. These rumours are that Caelan Doris is said to have shoulder surgery very soon and could miss the British and Irish Lions tour. That would just be an absolute hammer blow. He is one of the best players in the world, a very obvious candidate to be the captain, and if he's unavailable, Maro Itoje has the captaincy without a question for me. The thing is though, who replaces an irreplaceable player in the starting 15? This is not like 2017 when Big Billy Vunipola was sucking up space from other players. This is a player that is a true once-in-a-generational talent. Caelan Doris is incredible. So, who could step in for him? I'm going to go through 4 contenders. I'm also going to briefly talk about Mack Hansen, then I'm going to give my final prediction of the squad before it comes out tomorrow. The first contender to come in for Caelan Doris is rather obvious: Talupi Felatau. If selected, this will be his 4th British and Irish Lions tour, having played over 100 tests, having captained Wales before. He's a great candidate. However, the fact that he is Welsh, the fact that he is 34 years old, the fact that at Wales the players are just getting too used to losing could absolutely count against the guy. The thing is though, physically he is very similar to Doris. He's an absolute animal, not only at the breakdown, but with ball in hand, scores a lot of tries. He's got an amazing amount of pace as well, for a player in his mid-30s. So never count the guy out. A second contender I'm going to go on to is going to be Ben Earl. I think Earl had a pretty good chance of going on the tour as is, but with the fact that Doris may be ruled out, his stock has definitely gone up in value, unlike Disney stock as of late. Ben Earl can play 6, 7, 8, and he also did play about 25 minutes against Wales in the midfield for England. Earl is a player who doesn't necessarily win too many turnovers, but he's the kind of guy who's going to give you a good highlight reel for the midweek tests. Does he necessarily fit the same mould as Caelan Doris? I'm not convinced, but I think if Doris is out, he's got a very good chance of going on the tour. That's just the kind of player Ben Earl is. You pick him for versatility if he isn't going to be your starter. As for the third contender, Jack Dempsey. John DL, being one of the assistant coaches, will almost definitely use this as an opportunity to get another Scottish player on the tour. Although Dempsey plays for Scotland through ancestry, he is indeed a former Wallaby, so he's very familiar with Australia. He's not quite there for 50 tests yet because he had to have that 3-year stand down from international rugby, but Dempsey's a very experienced player at 31 years old. Dempsey, being a local, could give a good advantage for the touring group. Think about 2021 when Duhan van der Merwe went. Think about 2017 when Mako Vunipola, Ben Teo and even Jared Payne went on the Lions tour. Sometimes local players who are eligible for Lions can get called up to help out with things off field. And Dempsey, being a very hard carrier, being a former Wallaby, has definitely propelled himself into contention, especially with his compatriot Matt Fagerson sadly being out of the tour due to injury, similarly to Emmanuel Faye-Waboso and likely Sione Tuipolotu, also of Scotland. The fourth contender though, the last one, I think is the most likely. If Caelan Doris is out, I have absolutely no question that Jack Conan will be starting for the British and Irish Lions at number 8. He was the first choice number 8 in the previous tour. He's getting into his 30s. He's a very experienced player with 51 tests under his belt, and he's a great carrier to have on the outside of the pitch, so will definitely suit a kick-chasing, attacking game plan that I think the Lions are going for very well. As for the rest of the squad, should this injury happen to Caelan Doris and he is forced to withdraw, I think the final squad will look as you see on screen. Dan Sheehan, Jamie George and Ronan Kelleher as the hookers, their ability not only in the jackal but in the carry. Props, simply going to be picked on form. Locks I'm not going to change. Itoje will be the captain without a question if Doris is out. And in the back row, I'm still going to go with Jamie Ritchie, Tom Curry, Jack Morgan, Josh van der Fleer, Ben Earl, Jack Conan, and Talupi Felatau, I think, will sneak in to get that extra spot. While there is the advantage of taking Dempsey, Scotland are very 50-50 on their first choice number 8, whereas Felatau has been on 3 Lions tours before. The halves are going to stay the same: Owen Farrell, Marcus Smith, Sam Prendergast for 10, Jamison Gibson Park, Alex Mitchell and Ben White for 9. Midfield, Sione Tuipulotu is still yet to play, so I'm going to keep not Hugh Jones in there. I'm going to keep Tom Jordan in there with Hugh Jones, Bundy Aki, Gary Ringrose and Robbie Henshaw. And as for the outside backs, to finish off the video, Mack Hansen is going to be out with an injury for about 5 weeks. This injury means that Mack Hansen is likely to miss the first few matches on a British and Irish Lions tour. Given the fact that Duhan van der Merwe, a very highly likely player to go on the tour, is also about to return from an injury of his own, is this a risk that Andy Farrell will be willing to take? I don't think so. It's a very, very dangerous risk to take, and so I think that Tommy Freeman will indeed end up on the plane with Blair Kinghorn and Hugo Keenan. Fingers crossed Kinghorn can get released from Toulouse. And I think that will be the final prediction of my Lions squad. Remember guys, this is not the squad I would pick myself. This is who I think Andy Farrell will pick should Caelan Doris and Mack Hansen go down injured and be ruled out for the tour. Thank you for watching the video guys. Remember to tune back in tomorrow when the actual squad is finally named, and we'll see how we go from there. Cheers for watching one more time team. See you now. From Max.